Nick Eaton with CSC Barton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Eaton. And are you owner, agent, manager, counsel?
Yeah, I'm with the ownership group.
Okay.
So representative of the owner.
All right, fantastic. Mr. Stovall, why are you suing?
Okay, well, so there's a few different issues. I'll kind of try to keep them as simple as possible.
Start with this. Are you suing for money?
Yes.
How much money are you suing for?
I'm suing for, I listed 20, but it's 19,828 and 74 cents.
19,828. And what is that from?
So, let's see, there's multiple violations. So the first violation is retaliation. And for that, there's 1,070 plus 500.
Okay, so lease violations. What else?
Plus, yeah, so total for that is 1981 without time damages, because that kind of splits between all the different issues.
Mr. Stovall, how are you calculating your damages?
For my time, I kept track of my hours, and I used.
Are you an attorney?
What's that?
Are you a licensed attorney?
No.
Typically, Texas, you don't get anything for your time in bringing a case to court. You get your actual damages. Have you been harmed financially by the defendant?
Yeah, I mean, I had to spend a lot of time on this issue.
I don't doubt that, right? The court isn't able to compensate you for the amount of time it took you to bring the case. What you can sue for are actual damages. So what's the reason you were suing the defendant?
Well, so for retaliation, and then they kept on telling me that they would send me a lease to offer. I kept requesting a lease offer. They kept saying they would send one. They wouldn't send one, so I'd get charged month-to-month fees plus a premium rent, which is higher than.
So you wanted to renew, and they said no. They kept you at a month-to-month, and you didn't move out.
They would say that we're sending it to you, or they would say, hey, we're going to take care of all those past ones. And it kept going on like that. I have a whole email thread of it. Eventually, it got to be where he said, hey, how about we sign a new lease first, and then we'll talk about the fees. And I didn't feel comfortable with that. And I still requested a lease to review, and I've never got one from him. And then I'm a little bit nervous here, so excuse me if I lose track of my thoughts a little bit. But yeah, he basically they never gave me one. They kept telling me that they were gonna address the issue and whatnot. Finally, when he did say, let's do it, but let's do it after we sign a lease, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to move out too because of a number of issues. Then I found out they were actually selling the place. That's when I filed the suit so that I could sue them before they're selling. I guess it didn't go through, but I didn't want to sue the next person for something that they did. And
I'm reading your petition because I'm not following what you're suing for. So I'm going to read what you wrote. You tell me where the claim of action is. Okay. Defendant retaliated. I requested repairs and objected to a rent increase. They issued me a fraudulent lease violation. That's harmed my rental record. Defendant raised my rent without due notice as required by the lease, and then issued a retaliatory notice to vacate, creating financial and housing instability. I don't know about that. Defendant also charged month-to-month fees after falsely promising a lease renewal. So month-to-month fees after lease renewal. That seems like something that might be actionable. Month-to-month fees after promising renewal. All right. And, I'm going to finish reading your petition, sir, but that's the first one I understand that makes actionable sense. Okay. Promised me a lease at a different rate, but they kept charging me month-to-month fees. We'll see. Imposing improper insurance fees despite proof of coverage. Okay, so maybe that's a lease fee. Insurance fees, if you provided them proof of renter's insurance and they were charging you for it. All right.
That number was just 210.
And then conditioned refunds on signing a lease.
That was just kind of describing it. That doesn't necessarily.
Okay, because I mean that's yeah. Plaintiff seeks damages under the property code and the Texas Business Code, removal of fraudulent lease violation. I don't know what record the lease violation would be on, sir, and I wouldn't have that's injunctive relief. I can't do that.
They've already done that. Well, okay. They kind of explained it to me like this, because I've been asking for more than a year to please tell me what this lease violation notice was for. and please get it off because I know it was false. Like it came to me after I made I complained to the manager and I put in
All right.
two maintenance or 3 maintenance requests later that day, including one that was a rat that was in my house that just got
Mr.
into my house.
Stovall, did they remove the fraudulent violation before or after you filed the lawsuit?
It was, well, they never removed it.
I thought you said that.
But they explained that it wouldn't that they don't report it to other apartment complexes, and that was my big fear. And I kept asking them over and over again, can you tell me, because this is going to affect my ability to move, and like I'm afraid to apply to a place because I don't want to get on a blacklist. They never explained it right until the end, right until they saw there was a court date. They finally said, hey, you don't have to worry about that. That's nothing. And so something that could have taken them 2 minutes. Same thing with fixing the month-to-month fees. These things that could
Okay,
have
let's
taken a
talk
long
about
time.
how much did you incur in month-to-month fees, Mr. Stovall?
Well, I'm including 250 plus the premium $100 for extra for the premium rent.
Let's do it a different way. Mr. Stovall, you moved into this apartment complex and you originally signed a lease. Is that correct?
Yes,
And when you first moved in, how much was your rent?
$795.
$795.
Yeah, they didn't own
And
it at that point. They bought it a couple
That's
years
totally
later.
fine, Mr. Stovall. The lease is run with the land. So you had a lease for $795. When did that lease, by its original term, end?
Oh, that was like 2017 and 2018 or something.
It's important that you know.
I mean, I can look it up.
Take a look at your
Oh.
lease. The very first lease you signed for $795. When did it start and when did it end?
Did you get my exhibits, by the way, by email?
I'm sure I did, but
Cool.
it's just
I'll find it.
right, because we had one plaintiff who sent us 800 exhibits and it actually shut down our inbox. We had to contact that person.
Okay, hopefully
The
that's
best of luck, y'all. I appreciate it, but like you emailing me 50 PDFs I have 3,000 lawsuits and they all emailed something. You just need to look and tell me when your lease began and ended.
Okay,
Mr. Eaton, do you know when the original lease was? Because you can help us get there a whole lot faster, right? I just want to know the original term, when it ended, so that we know like when we finally went month to month.
There were
Oh.
several lease renewals in the time from the original that you mentioned to the point where it got to the month to month.
Per your records, Mr. Eaton, when did it go month to month?
Let's take a look at that last lease we have signed.
And Mr. Stovall, same question, because that's what I'm trying to get to, right? Like you had a lease and it got renewed and there came a point when you did not renew and you went month to month. When did that begin?
That began on when it went month to month was August. August was the last month. August of 2023 was the last month that I had a lease.
August 31st, 2023 is the date that I have in the lease.
So September 1st of 2023, Mr. Stovall was month to month.
Yes.
If you didn't move out at the end of August, and if you stuck around, it went month to month. And were we all agreeing on that?
Yes.
Okay, so September 1st of 2023. And in the original lease, Mr. Stovall, did it already say, if not renewed at month to month, this rent increases?
I'd have to look, but there is I understand like that month to month fees are a legitimate thing, but I'm saying it's deceptive trade practices too.
I get there, and I'm leading you to where you're trying to go, Mr. Stovall. I get it. What I'm trying to figure out is how long this went on, right? It gives me a
Okay.
sense of what happened with y'all. So in September of 2023, you didn't sign a renewal. They didn't demand it. You went month to month. Did
yes,
the rent increase when it went month to month?
It had to, so they raised it in September. I had to involve a lawyer to get them to stop doing that.
Of 2023?
Yeah, because they have to give 30 days notice per the lease to make any changes.
That's what I just.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Mr. Stovall, you signed a lease.
Yes.
Are you looking at your lease?
I'm pulling it up here.
Pull your lease up and let's look at it together.
Okay.
Mr. Eaton, are you looking at his lease?
Yes, ma'am.
When it went month to month and September 1st, did the rent increase from $795?
It was, so the $795 was no longer on that lease. The rent on this lease we're referring to is $1070.
So
Was
in
the-
the renewals, the rent had increased per the standard renewal, so that at that point, when it went month to month, it was actually 1023.
It was already 1070 in the active lease that expired on 8/31/23. The
Okay.
effective lease
Okay.
was yeah.
Mr. Stovall, is that correct? When your last full lease term came to an end, was your rent at that point 1,070 a month?
Yes, can I say one note on that? So when and there's some documents to back this up, but when I originally signed that lease, it was in February, I think. No, yeah, it was right at the end of January. They did actually raise my rent. I didn't know the law then that they had to give me 30 days. I had been trying for like a while to get the lease. Emails were bouncing back. One person didn't work there anymore that emails were going to. I couldn't like do it online. It wouldn't let me. Finally, and you know, this company you would call a million times and it would, like, I think during this time it would just ring and the messages would always be full. So it's impossible to get in touch. I finally got in touch with someone on the 30th and we worked it out and to get it signed in time and give me time to review it and stuff. The one thing that they did say though was that I would have an opportunity to link, because of the shortened time, that I'd have the opportunity to lengthen the lease and change the terms to something lower, like 1030. But when it came to it and I tried to follow up on that, they did not.
They didn't do it. So they got you to sign something and then, all right, so you
Yeah.
signed a lease, you renewed at 1070, and then that lease came to an end and it went month to month.
Yeah, now that'd be
If-
before the
if-
statute of limitations, but that would include from March 23 on.
In September of 2023, your original lease, after all the renewals, came to an end and you went month to month, correct?
Correct.
And when you went month to month in September, were you then did you pay 1070 going forward?
I paid 1070 for one more month and then they raised it to like 1225, I think the next.
Okay, so then it went to what portion of, so from September of 2023 until now, you've never signed a proper renewal?
Correct.
Okay, it was month to month. And are you still currently living there?
I moved out. I had to move out because they would not fix the AC, and I tried for 3 weeks.
When did you move out?
It was July 6th to 9th or something.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were a month to
Sorry.
month tenant from September of 23 through June of 25.
Yes.
Okay, and what portion of that are you suing for fees?
I will say though that for it was 3 of those months. Oh wait, excuse me. Because one of the managers did stop charging it, and she refunded it, some of it. So that took off a certain amount of salary. So there was and I'm not even necessarily asking for every, but so from October and November, I didn't pay any.
Of 2023?
Yeah, there was basically like $750 worth that was like refunded to me. And then she didn't make me pay for October and November. But then
Mr. Stovall,
she quit or got fired because they have a lot of turnover. And then
Mr. Stovall,
yes,
what didn't you pay in October and November?
just the month to month, so $250.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, so
When you went month to month, your rent was 1070, but you had to pay an extra 250.
yes, plus they raised the rent to $1225, which is like a premium.
So the 250 is a month to month fee, and is that in the lease?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so.
If it's not, they shouldn't have been charging it, right?
Right,
Mr.
yeah.
Eaton, I see you doing that. Is it in the lease?
I was just going to refer to the clause from the lease that says this lease will automatically renew month to month unless either party gives written notice of termination or intent to move out as required by paragraph 25 on page 1.
Yeah, no, I know that, y'all. I understand how month to month works. You get stuck in it the minute y'all start a lease, whether you have it written or not, it goes month to month. My question is, he says he got charged month to month fees. Where does this month to month fee exist? Is it in the lease? That's what I'm asking. So what's the month to month fee? He says y'all charge him $250, sometimes not. I'm not really clear.
Yes, ma'am, that's our typical fee. I'm happy to take a look through the lease now and see if it's in there.
I'm looking to, but I do think I've seen that before in there.
Yeah. There are 400 pages of exhibits, y'all. I really only need to know that one piece of paper on the lease, the original document that said when it goes month to month, is there a fee?
That is definitely there.
Otherwise, I don't know why we're here. If you said you're suing for for month to month fees, what's that fee? It can't be the rent. You lived there.
Well, this 250, I've not seen it here right off the bat. And I can't search these.
Because Mr. Stovall, ultimately what I would want you to say to me is, Judge, I, for 12 months, asked them to give me a renewal, and they kept promising me, here's all the emails where they said, we'll send you with the renewal, and then they never sent it. And as a result, I was having to pay an extra amount of money. But you got to be able to tell me what the extra amount of money is over and above what your lease would have been of 1070.
Okay, yeah. I can tell
That's
you.
for you to prove damages. You have to prove to me that you had an offer to renew at a different rate and they refused to give it to you. And as a result, you suffered harm by paying more money. Can you show me that in your receipts?
Yes. So in the files I sent, we look in improper issue number 3, improper month. Issue emails, and then issue 3 month to month lease request screenshots. So the screenshots are just what I took from the web portal that would say, like, it would give you an opportunity to request a lease, then it would say this lease is being processed, kind of thing. That I was doing that at first, that wasn't working. Then I eventually talked to if you look in the emails file, and I did it in reverse chronological order, so just to match the email thread. So newest is on top, oldest is on bottom. And I tried to keep threads together, but
I did provide the lease renewals in the documents that I provided. I provided a copy of those.
so in there it does include some of the ones I did offer. And then I have an email dated 3/1. Actually, February 29th, with the heading at the top of that thread is 3/1, where I explained I was having difficulty accessing things. And then if you go up to my emails to Jay Gonzalez, I said,
No, Mr. Stovall.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Stovall, have you found the document that tells me how much more you had to pay month to month than you would have been paying at your standard renewal rate?
Only that there's nothing that I can scientifically say other than just other people's rents that were in similar situation and similar.
Mr. Stoll, unfortunately, that's too specious for me to be able to make an award then.
Can I, okay, for the 250, since I intended to show that they had knowledge of this, that this was happening, that they weren't doing it, would
Did
that
you
be
show
triple
me that you were
damages?
paying $250 more every month solely as a month to month fee?
Yes.
Where?
In
That's what I was asking.
in
What document?
Oh, in payment receipts, and I'm sorry, I do have a ledger I was about to send you to. I'm sorry. I understand. I just sent a ledger.
I don't want your ledger, Mr. Stovall.
Okay.
I want you to show me where in your lease it says that if you go month to month, they're gonna charge you an extra $250 a month.
Nick, can you help me out here? I know it's in there. It's kind of hard to read like you can't search these PDFs for some reason of the TAS. I do know from payment receipts I was paying $250. I'm not seeing it right now. I think I've always assumed it was just in the lease somewhere. Nick, can you?
He doesn't have to, Mr. Stovall. Okay,
Well, I mean,
I'm
the
gonna,
250.
Mr. Stovall, I'm gonna give you some information and I want you to hear it because you have the right to appeal the decision. But so far, you've not established a cause of action against the landlord sufficient for a claim.
Even okay.
Let me hear what I'm saying, okay? Because I understand what you're alleging. What I'm saying is that your facts and your law doesn't match up, right? If what you want to say is that I would have been able to save money if they had given me a renewal, you must show me a couple of things. One, you must show me that the difference between what you would have paid and what you were paying is only due to the month-to-month fee. And not just because rent got more expensive every month.
Well, like a receipt would show that, right?
No, I don't know. Typically, it needs to be in the lease.
Well, I mean, like the actual payments themselves show $250
Mr.
for a month fee.
Let me finish that. You would need to tell me a couple of things. You need to show me that you had a good faith offer to renew. The landlord gave you an offer and they refused to let you accept it. And because they would not let you accept an offer to renew at a lesser rate, you got stuck paying the higher month-to-month fee, which needs a few things. I need proof that the landlord offered a renewal to you and that you did not reject it or not accept it. So a valid offer to renew, that has to be shown.
But if they
And
tell
then
me,
second, Mr.
okay,
Stovall,
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to lead you to understand what's deficient in your case. So if you want to appeal, you can fix this and cure it. But this is why you're not getting anywhere, okay? You have to show historic evidence that the landlord refused your renewal, that they offered, and then somehow you weren't able to accept it through no fault of your own, right? They said you can only accept through the portal, but the portal never worked. I don't know. I can't tell you what your evidence must look like, but this would be a necessary element that they refuse to give you the renewal that you were otherwise somehow entitled to. That's a tough one already, Mr. Stovall. No landlord in Texas must renew. Every single landlord, regardless of how good the tenant can be, can say, I no longer wish to have you as a tenant. Let me finish. Mr. Stovall, you must show that they prevented you from renewing and that prevention harmed you because you had to pay a greater rate only due to it being month to month. If the reason the rent went up every month is that rent's going up in Austin, that would be a reason. So those two things, you would have to show me historical evidence that they refused to your renewal through no fault of your own, that they said you could and then you didn't, and that even ongoing every month, you were only paying more rent because it was a month-to-month thing and you couldn't lock it in.
I believe I have that information right now.
Can you immediately direct me to it?
Yes.
Immediately direct me to it.
So on the improper month-to-month issue three improper month-to-month issue emails.
Mr. Stovall, I received 2 documents from you, 2 batches. One is 243 pages, the other is 163. Where in those documents would I find what you're trying to show me?
I think I sent them. Oh, maybe does it show more like show more attachments?
I just have 2 giant PDFs from the plaintiff. They're both batches.
Do they combine them maybe in the email?
Yes, I combined them all because they were individual emails and it was easier to attach, especially since he sent them like 30 minutes before the hearing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I very much apologize for that. I know that's not good.
Should have been done 3 days ago, y'all. That's very rude and disrespectful to the court. 400 pages, 30 minutes before a hearing with 6 cases. Do you understand, Mr. Stovall, why that is not okay?
I know that was.
So pull it up on your screen and we'll let you screen share. I want you to get to the information so we can award you a judgment, but right now you have not established any cause of action whatsoever.
Okay, I just sent her.
And it's been 30 minutes.
And I accepted that request.
All right, what document am I looking at now, Mr. Stovall?
Okay, so this is an email I sent on June 20th, 2024 after talking with Jay Gonzalez on site. Just wanted to let you know I tried to request the lease renewal last night for review. I'm just following up by email because he asked me to do that. He said, okay, thank you. I'll let Perla know. August 1st, Jay, I never received a renewal offer. This has now been made.
Got it. Mr. Stovall, show me something where they say the renewal is coming. Because if you just kept asking them to marry you and they just kept stalling, that's not illegal. That's
not
nice. I grant you, that's, you know, them dragging their feet, but it's not improper or illegal. You need to show me something where they said the renewal is ready, go sign it.
Well, I mean, like, I
understand what you're saying, Mr. You asking them to renew does not obligate them to give you one. It doesn't.
Right. But the fact that they would say, yes, we're going to do it. And then, so I don't know.
Show me that. That's what I'm asking. Show me one where they said, yes, here's your renewal.
Well,
that's what I saw. I did not see that in those communications. What I saw was we'll let them know.
They wouldn't necessarily say, here's a renewal, but they'd say, we're sending you a renewal. And I'm
show me that.
That was just that.
I don't see that. I see, I'll let them know. That's not the same thing. Okay. Thank you. I'll let Perla know.
Like, there, I could show Sydney tells me that that it's all gonna be addressed. I wrote so much, I spent so much time trying to not have this in front of you.
Mr. Stovall, I'm afraid that it's plaintiff take nothing today. You absolutely can appeal. You have 21 days to do that. I would say, Mr. Stovall, to be most effective in the 21 days, reach out to legal aid and help them, have them review what you're talking about, okay?
I did. They
a specific thing that we need is them agreeing to renew. I have not yet seen that here.
I've got it here coming up.
Okay. Mr. Stovall, as the plaintiff, if you wish to appeal, it's a $500 appeal bond. If you can't afford that, you can apply for a waiver and you can appeal essentially for free. Okay?
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that. I will follow up again with my regional to get some of the answers you see. I'll also
see, none of those say we're renewing.
They say we're sending you.
We'll talk to you. They gave you a runaround, but that's not illegal or improper. That's just maybe a reason to move. Mr. Sandoval, Mr. Stovall, we can't continue here. Okay? Mr. Stovall,
your renewal request has been accepted. Please review the details.
Has been. That's an automatic message. That's not someone human saying, "Here comes your renewal." Right. That's so you requesting it.
That's why I started talking to them by phone and email.
Okay. Mr. Stovall, unfortunately today it is a plaintiff take nothing. You have 21 days. Tomorrow is day 1. It's 21 calendar.
In the insurance money?
Insurance money for?
Where they were charging me insurance when I kept trying to get it removed? Or their first retaliation, I don't, man, it's really hard to communicate this stuff. Like, this has been like.
Mr. Stovall, please contact legal aid or the tenants rights group to help you.
They only helped me for a little bit and then they stopped
okay. Unfortunately, I cannot assist you. I cannot advise you. I can say that what I'm hearing today is not sufficient to establish cause of action or damages.
I know I haven't presented it well.
You can do it again if you appeal. If you don't do anything, this becomes over and done after 21 days. Okay, sir?
Okay, so 21 days, I have to pay $500.
Tomorrow's day 1 and it's 21 calendar days.
Okay. Is there anything weird? Is it just, I know like in like criminal appeals, there has to be like something wrong with the process. Is this just like?
Nope, you don't have to have anything. Nope, that's a great question, Mr. Stovall. In justice court for civil matters, you can win an appeal without any reason at all, just because you didn't like my opinion or you wanted more money. It is not required that you have a cause to appeal from justice court. And the Latin term for that is it's appeal de novo, meaning it's completely brand new. The next judge wouldn't ask you what happened. They wouldn't say what Judge Holmes they wouldn't ask what Mr. Eaton. They would, it's a brand new thing with a brand new judge. Okay?
And who do you know who the judge is?
It would be either Judge Wong or Judge Shepard. It's going to be appealed to the county court at laws, and you get assigned to either one or two. If you contact our court this afternoon or tomorrow, we can give you the information about appealing, and then you can again, you have 21 calendar days. All right, sir.
All right.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Eaton. Thank you. All parties are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.